Basically, yeah.
What do I have to do?
Right up underneath and just right to the lapel here.
Do we have craft services coming then?
Whenever you're ready.
Where should I look? Oh, God.
You want me?
Don't look at me, Mark.
Okay.
Mark, don't look at
Play
me.
on my phone. You can just do it.
Okay, all right. Hi, I'm Carrie Lobach. I work for the American Cancer Society, and I'm a coordinator for community development. I support our CDMs in the Bethlehem, Pennsylvania office with their relays, Real Men Wear Pink, making strides against breast cancer events, anything really involving our community. Talking with participants over the phone, talking with just any general phone calls that come in. If it's someone calling looking for a ride to treatment, which is through our Road to Recovery program, I direct them to our national phone number, and the representatives there will get everything set up and taken care of for them. If people have questions on their accounts online for their team, for their relays, I can help them with that too. So I've worked for the American Cancer Society for a little over 1 year. So I met Mike Lobach when we worked together at the Bonton department store in 1996. Mike was very shy, and it took him a year before he said hello to me. And he was I just fell in love with him. He was a really good person, a really kind person, and I knew I wanted to spend my life with him. We were married on October 23rd, 1999. So this year would have been 20 years. He loved pop culture. We were both kids that grew up in the 80s, which was the most awesome decade to grow up in. He also collected pop figures. We have, last count, it was close to 400. And he also had a superhero collection. Batman was his favorite. He was his favorite superhero because he did not have special powers. He was a regular guy. And, you know, his absolute favorite band in the entire world is U2. He saw them probably about 10 times or so. The last time we saw them together was at Madison Square Garden. So we have 2 children. Our first daughter is Ava, and she was born on New Year's Day, 2001, making her birthday 01/01/01. And then our second daughter, Mia, has a regular birthday. She was born August 26, 2004. We love to take them to Disney, and we first took them in 2008, and we decided we would take them every 3 years. So the next one to Disney would have been 2014. Unfortunately, we were not able to take that trip. Mike was diagnosed with parotid gland cancer right before Thanksgiving in 2013. He had a tumor in his salivary gland. He went for his PET scan, and it indicated a tumor on his sacrum, which is his lower back. So I immediately thought, okay, so we have salivary gland cancer, now we're dealing with bone cancer. Like, it was crazy. It didn't seem like it was possible. When he had the biopsy done on the tumor on his lower back, it came back that the cells were not bone cancer. It was the exact same cells that were tumor cells that were present in his salivary gland. This made him immediately a stage 4 because it was then considered metastatic. So his primary site was the salivary gland, the secondary site was the sacrum, and no organs in between were affected. So at first you think that sounds good, but it's really not. And the reason is because there's no testing that can be done. Like, you can't test the pancreas and see if there's cancer hiding there. It just hasn't come up yet. So all those organs in between the salivary gland and the sacrum, at any time in his life, cancer could literally, pop up. In the beginning of 2014, then he had his salivary gland removed. He went through chemo and he went through radiation. He had radiation done also on his lower back. Where his tumor was located in his lower back, it was not in a good spot, meaning they were able to biopsy it, but they would not really be able to remove it. That would entail like major pelvic reconstruction. Mike successfully completed all of his treatment. All his blood work pretty much like always came back good. Everything else about him, you would not think if you saw him that he was someone that had metastatic cancer. He did really well. He made a really good recovery. And pretty much, like I said, he was never fully in remission, but he did have scans done for a while. In the beginning, it was like every 3 months, and then it got to every 6 months. Eventually, the plan was to go to a year. He never quite made it there. During one of his routine scans in 2016, they found a tumor in his lung. When they biopsied it, it was not lung cancer. It was parotid gland cancer. So again, keeping in the metastatic theme, which we knew could happen. The spot that it was located in, they were able to completely remove the tumor. So he did have some recovery there for a little while. There was also some activity showing on his sacrum again. It was very, very small. However, it was different than previously, so there were things going on. They were able to give him one last round of like high doses of radiation here. The tumor that they removed from his lung, they sent out to have a molecular study done, which is pretty much learning everything they could about this cell and why it went from a normal cell to cancer. There is a treatment of hormone therapy that is very successful in men with prostate cancer. And it was in the beginning stages for head and neck cancer, and they were showing some positive results. So Mike went ahead and started that. He would get shots like every 2 months, I believe. He would take pills and everything like that. So he did recover again, and pretty much at that point it was, we were just going to live our lives as best as we could and spend as much time together and with the kids. So the next couple of years were actually really good. He was cancer-free for 3 years, and then in March of this year, 2019, he had been having some stomach issues. He was just not feeling good. It was affecting his appetite. I said, we need to call the oncologist and just make sure everything is okay. All his scans came back clear, everything. No cancer showing. And then on Saturday, June 1st, he was in a lot of pain. So we went to the emergency room, and they did scans and tests and everything, and we were told that the cancer had returned. It was in the lymph nodes in his abdomen. He had the biopsy done the following couple days, and the results came back that it was metastatic. The oncologist was going to look into trials to see if Mike would qualify for any trials. There was also an option of one chemotherapy drug, and then there was a third option of a chemotherapy cocktail. So it would have been 3 chemo drugs. So we were pretty much kind of hoping for a trial just to see if there was anything available. We had another appointment set up to go to Sloan Kettering on June 19th. Mike woke up that morning and he had pain in his chest. So we went to the ER, and when they did the scans, the cancer had spread to the lymph nodes in his chest and his neck. So the very next day, he started the chemo cocktail, because at that point, we couldn't wait anymore. It was obvious that this was very fast moving. I mean, we all felt it was, it was Mike's ultimate decision, and he felt, and I agreed, that this was the way to go. We need to knock this out. It's now in 3 different parts of his body. He did have a lot of side effects. He lost his hair very quickly. He didn't lose all of it, but he was losing a lot of hair. He was still having stomach issues. He tried to eat small meals because he knew he had to eat. He didn't want to, but he would. He was having trouble just in general with his back pain and just even moving around. He couldn't get comfortable at night in bed. He had trouble getting comfortable on the couch. Like I said, he had his first treatment. His second treatment was scheduled for July 18th. So that's what our goal was, be comfortable as much as you can, get to the second chemo treatment. So on the morning of July 14th, it was a Sunday morning, I heard him call me he was in the bathroom, and I went in and he said he couldn't breathe. He was having trouble breathing. So I went back to our room, I called 911. I was on the phone with the 911 operator giving basic information, and I heard a noise. So I went back to the bathroom, and when Mike had first called me in, he was just sitting on the toilet. And so then I heard this noise and I went back, and he was on the floor. And I feel like he saw me. His eyes saw me. But then they just went almost blank. He was just staring straight ahead. And I could tell, I knew he was gone. So I just started screaming his name. And my cousin happened to be there that morning in our house with us. The 911 operator had her perform CPR as we waited for the ambulance to get there. And she did save his life, being at the house until he got to the emergency room. And even in the emergency room, he went into cardiac arrest 4 times. But he was hanging on, he was fighting. He was unconscious, and they were still, able to do tests on him to kind of see where his brain function could be. And then on Wednesday, which was July 17th, his oncologist came to see me, and they had done scans on Mike, and the cancer had actually spread. So the chemo that was supposed to save him did not work. Actually what ended up happening, we found out, was he had 2 blood clots in his lungs, in both lungs, and that's what caused him to go unconscious. So at that point, I realized that even when he does wake up, he now has cancer that has spread even more, and the heaviest dosage of chemotherapy drugs did not work. I saw neurology, and they had concluded all the testing that they needed to do, and they did find that he had significant brain damage, and if he ever were to regain consciousness, he would be confined to an assisted living facility. And that was kind of what I was waiting for before I could make any decisions. I wanted to know what the neurologist could tell me as far as what his quality of life was going to be. So the next day, which was Thursday, July 18th, 2019, which would have been his second round of chemo, I had the doctors remove the tubes. He had been on full life support since the 14th, since he came into the ER. We just had everything removed, and it felt very peaceful being with him then once all the tubes and everything were finally gone. We knew it was going to be quick. They estimated, within like about probably 15 minutes, and it was very fast because he was not able to ever breathe on his own. So he passed away at 1:51 in the afternoon of July 18th. I had his memorial service on Wednesday, July 24th. A couple days before that, a friend had suggested we should wear t-shirts because that was Mike's favorite thing. And I really liked that idea. So we planned the service to honor him and have all of his favorite things there. So I told everyone, wear any kind of t-shirt that Mike Lobach would be like, that's really cool, which didn't take much. So Star Wars, Batman, superheroes. We brought some of his favorite pop figures, his Eagles jersey, his Flyers jersey, his picture from his favorite U2 concert, where he's literally like 5 feet away from Bono. He did a selfie, and he loved that picture, so we brought that. And then regular pictures of the family and Mike's best friends that he grew up with. If he were there, he would have said in the car on the way home, that was a really cool memorial service. So I did have, his urn was, he had Batman. It was the Batman logo on his urn. So I know he would have loved that. So I just want to thank everyone from the ACS, my amazing coworkers who have been so supportive, my remote supervisor in Massachusetts, all the other staff who've reached out to me. They've either sent me cards or emails like throughout the Northeast, our Northeast region. And our family and friends. We would have never gotten through this without everyone's love and support, so thank you. All right, so I would say to the Real Men Wear Pink candidates, thank you for being a part of this amazing campaign. Using the campaign to spread awareness about getting your physicals, getting your annual exams, getting your blood work done. I don't want to see anyone put off getting medical care because they're scared, which I understand is very scary. But they're not alone in the fight. They have support, friends, family, the American Cancer Society. Let them know, please contact the ACS. We have so many programs that we can help them with, from our Hope Lodge to our Road to Recovery program. They're not alone, so that's what I would say. Spread awareness as much as you can.